The governor has broad powers under the state of emergency to issue directives that he thinks are necessary to address the state of emergency. That doesn't involve the legislature, input from the legislature, consulting with, or even conversations with the legislature at any point. And in fact, that's been the case under these 8 months plus of state of emergency. The governor has had very little conversation with the legislators, either as individuals or collectively, either in person or virtually. We understand that as legislators, we have no ability to modify, appeal, set aside, or otherwise change any of his state of emergency edicts. We have no control over that whatsoever. The governor has not consulted with lawmakers, and in fact, efforts by lawmakers to engage the governor with some suggestions have not been well received. It's very frustrating when constituents call and then ask, well, what is the reasoning for this decision or that decision or these parameters or these guidelines, and not being able to answer and give some, reason as to, well, this was the thought process, here's the reason, this is how it will impact. Having not been part of those conversations and part of that decision making, it's very difficult to give a response. In May, there was a bill that was introduced and fairly broadly supported, House Bill 330, that would have provided for the governor could make a declaration of a state of emergency. Those are for typically 30 days. But before it could be renewed or extended, there needed to be a conversation with the legislators so that they could represent the feelings of their constituents. That bill, by the way, didn't even make it out of committee. The Democratic leadership didn't even bring it out of the administrative committee to have any discussion on it. There wasn't any discussion on that bill, which was also very disappointing. Listen, the COVID is real. In my own family situation, there are members who are more vulnerable, that have conditions that are vulnerable. And we've made it quite a practice to try to practice good distancing, mask wearing. My wife has not been out of the house very many times since March, to be quite honest. So we are aware of that and we're respecting that. We're just saying that the process has not been what I think is fair and equitable, and allowing for a broad base of input from the legislators representing their constituents. I think that obviously things are starting to tick up right now with the COVID. We do need to be vigilant, but we also need to be very smart in how we do it. We dealt our small businesses a really serious blow in the spring, and it appears that we may be sounding the death knell for a number of them, and I really want to try to avoid that. There are ways. We're smart enough. We've learned enough about this COVID disease to be able to accommodate and still be safe. And we need to do that because our small businesses particularly are very much at risk, as is our whole community. Small businesses are a life of the local town, and we need to protect that. We need to do it smartly, and I think we can do it.